What's up, everybody? This is your girl Midnight, and welcome to the Midnight Crew. And Midnight is coming with a late night talk. But before we get into the late night talk, I'm on wine, so I'm gonna unwind with some wine. This is my wine, Gallo, Pink Moscato. When it focuses in, right, and you're gonna wine. So today's talks is gonna be called "Absent or Not." Absent or not. Okay? We finna piggyback off of my last YouTube video when I said we were coming back with something else because I got some new juicy details. I'm talking about that interview with Pops. The interview with their dad off the juice. I watched that. Did y'all tune in? Because it was definitely the juice, the tea, the everything. Now, I wrote down some points, so I'm going to be just going down my list of whatever. And when I feel like it's just too much tea, I'm just going to have to take a sip of my wine. Midnight is unwind. Mm-hmm. So, absent or not, because now the father is being brought into all this mess, you guys, so he can be able to defend himself because he has been portrayed as a father who has been absent. He has been portrayed as a father who has not been in his girls' lives, according to their mother and according to Miss Latasha. Okay, so let's talk about the absent parent versus the active one. And this is going to be like in a general sense. I'm just going to speak on this general sense. Let's talk about active parents versus a non-active one. Now, first off, they're claiming that he's not active. They're claiming that he's an absent father. But an absent father is somebody who's barely ever around their children. They don't do anything for the children. They probably don't even know anything about the children. The children's from the children's name to the date of birth to the color they like, anything. Nothing about them. They wouldn't know nothing about them because they're absent. Versus somebody who's active. Now, the man is saying that he's being portrayed the wrong way, so he wanted to be able to speak up. And thanks to his wife, his current wife, that is, she actually got him that interview on that podcast, The Juice. And I actually wanted to insert a couple of clips from there, which I still may, from what I actually heard him say on The Juice. But we're going to also talk about that. So just give me 1 minute. Now, it's called absent or not because I don't know who to believe, you guys. I'm not here to criticize Latasha. I'm not here to criticize Latasha's mother. I'm not here to criticize Tamika, nor am I here to criticize the father. Everybody is doing what everybody's doing. We all just speculate and trying to paint this picture of what we think it is. You know, we none of us really know what's real, what's true, what's not true. We just all speculating. We all putting our opinions on a hot topic. Really, that's all what we doing. But I'm just trying to paint a picture from pretty much everybody's perspective. So, um, the father was on this interview with the Juice and a bunch of other influencers from YouTube, and that whole interview was like an hour and a half long. But they asked some very valid questions on the interview, like, were you in your child's life? His answers to, first off, let's go back. Were you or did you attend any of your daughter's wedding? The father's response to attending any of his daughter's wedding was, I only received one invite to a wedding, which was Tamika's wedding. I learned of Tasha and her husband getting married just like the whole universe and the nation learned. I got no invite. The father said, yes, indeed, Latasha's husband did get down and propose to her in my church, but he did not formally ask for my daughter's hand in marriage by asking me. So do you guys feel like he should have went the traditional way and asked for his wife's father's hand in marriage? Because everybody's doing things a little bit different. I mean, everybody's not really sticking to the traditional thing, you know. But what do y'all think? Do you think that he should have possibly, because he did say he went down on one knee in front of the whole congregation, he did ask her to be his wife in front of the whole congregation. I guess Pops wanted a personal greeting. He wanted a personal greeting. So what y'all feel about that? Do you feel out of the box with a man doing it that way without going through the bride's father? Or do you think that that's something traditional that every man should do if you are looking for marriage with that bride's if you are looking for marriage with the bride? Do you think that it's just respectful that you go through the bride's dad to ask for this bride's hands in marriage? Put that in a comment and we'll be back for the next segment. Now, another thing that they also brought about is we see favoritism. We were seeing a lot of favoritism. Like, we know that he said, the father stated on this interview that Tamika has always been very close knit with the father. Just as we all know that Latasha, she's close knit with her mother. But see, I don't like favoritism at all. I don't like parents to even make children feel that favoritism is something that should happen in households. I mean, true enough, all of our kids, if you have more than one child, they're going to be individually unique, you know what I'm saying? So you're going to have to really treat that child. How you interact with that child is based off how their personality is brought up. But you're supposed to love them all the same. I mean, you may interact with them different based off their uniqueness. But as far as showing love to your children, I think that all of that should be like equally. I don't believe in favoritism. I don't know that in my vocabulary. I don't know nothing about that. So what this family is going through with favoritism, I'm sure the father does not want to display favoritism because he's just being pushed out of the way by Latasha. The dad even said that he's tried contacting her recently and found out that he was blocked. Not only that, he said that Tamika is blocked. Not only that, it's just like, wow, she went to the extent to block her father. You know, she went to the extent to block her sister. I'm like, what is really tea? Why is it that she feel like she don't have that relationship with her dad? Or is it that she's just choosing that she don't want to because maybe her mother painted this negative narrative about the dad, you know what I'm saying, that could possibly be a whole lie. You know, that could possibly be a whole lie. Because according to dad, oh, I got evidence, and you should have seen the binder of books and pictures he had. How can an absent father have that much evidence of his daughter's childhood going all the way up from childhood up to now if he was absent? I'm just trying to figure that out. An absent father wouldn't have any of those kind of memories. I'm just saying. An absent father is just nowhere around. It's just the way it sounds. That motherfucker absent. He's absent. So, in my opinion, I'm trying to figure out, is mama bitter because now their father is remarried to a woman that he's been with for many years now? Could it be bitterness? Could it be jealousy? Could it be that you're just this bitter lady? Because, you know, bitterness can do that to some ladies and gentlemen. You know, when they feel like they move on with somebody else and the next person who they move on with, the relationship is more successful, it's much longer than it was with you. They seem to be at their happiest when they're with this other person. It'll burn a hole right through a bitter person's heart when they see stuff like that. So I'm trying to figure out, was mama bitter? Because was Pops around just because Pops wasn't around you, you know what I'm saying? Or may not been doing special things with you. That does not mean that he was not around for his children, because according to him, he's willing to even do a second part on the juice, which she did take him up on the offer, to actually go through all of his memories so that his name can be cleared from being this absentee father. Okay? And we will be staying in tune for that. But is mama bitter? Or no? Is she bitter or no, y'all? Cause what is it? Is she bitter? I think I better drink the wine on this. I think she bitter. He's a pastor. Now, I'm not saying that just because he's a pastor, that means that he's credible. Because I don't care if you got the gift of the cloth and you're ordained. There's not a lot of them out there that's credible, pastor or not. But the way that he was talking, he seemed like he has a lot of wisdom that the family needs at this very moment. So I say he seems credible. He seems wise. He seems like if all of them was in a room together that he can actually tell everybody what they need to hear and how they need to move forward with fixing this family mess they got in the internet, because he hate to see his daughters at odds like this, and he hate to see this going on with their family and be associated with this mess without even being asked to be brought up in this mess is one thing. So father Father Scott, Pastor Scott, is it Randolph? Pastor Randolph Scott. He trying to clear his name, honey. He don't want no parts to this stuff at all. He loves both his daughters just the same as he said, but he just have a close knit relationship with Tamika. But that's probably because she felt like that's the parent that catered to her, and probably that's the parent that she can go to and talk to and feel love. Because we all know she didn't feel that way about her mom. So shit, is mama bitter? What's going on? Oh, let's talk about this. We all over with different things. Watch that interview, The Juice. It's about a good hour and 30 minutes plus long. But I'm just saying, if you want to hear some hot piping tea, this is about the newest shit going. If you want to hear that piping tea, you go look up The Juice with the cup of tea, that red mug, and the microphone. Okay, this is how they describe. You can't miss what podcast that is. Okay, Pastor Rudolph Scott Sr. is on there dropping all the tea. It's overflowing with. Okay, but let's get back on the subject with Latasha and her husband. So I hear there's 3 mistresses coming out of the woodwork saying that he's been propositioning these women. My thing is this: if you a mistress and you okay with being a side chick, because that's what the hell it is. If you are a side chick, play a side chick role. Don't try to come out because you see all this other shit coming out, because your ass knew what you was walking into. You know what I'm saying? Sure, he knew what the fuck he was doing because he has a whole wife. He shouldn't even be doing this. But according to their marital status, I think that they have an open marriage. And see, y'all, also drop in the comment section what you really feel about an open marriage, because as of what I've seen with all the celebrities and even regular blue collar motherfuckers, open marriages do not work. They just do not work out. Every last one of them has went downhill. Every celebrity that has an open marriage was on the verge of divorcing if they was not able to come collectively and fix their marriage. And with us regular folks, it really don't work there neither. So I just don't feel like that's a good idea. Personally, me, I would never be interested in doing shit like that. That's an open invitation for your partner loving somebody else or falling in love with somebody else. Y'all can come up with whatever kind of agreement y'all think y'all coming up with. Like, oh, no, we just gonna bring other people in and we both gonna do things with them. No, it usually don't work like that. Somebody end up trying to catch some kind of feelings for somebody on the outside a little bit more deeper than the agreement was. And this is not, this is why you shouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? This is why open marriages are a trap to failure. So, how do you guys feel about open marriages? Are you guys in those kind of marriages where you feel like to please your wife or to please your husband, you will go to the extent to invite another woman or a man in your bedroom to please your husband and your wife, and then open up that can of worms for other problems later in your marriage? Drop it down in the comment section. What you think about an open marriage? And lastly, before I end my video, we're going to also talk about, I'm just going to go to Miss Sis Latasha. I wonder, with everything that's going on, how she really feels like. Do she feel like she want to give up after seeing and hearing so many different interviews? After seeing and hearing so many different mistresses come out the woodworks about your husband? I mean, this has to make Sis open up her eyes at some point and say, man, some of this stuff is so deep to where I have to do my research. Like, what am I going to do? What is she really going to do? I think what Sis needs to do is do some self-care. Meaning, if you need to get rid of your husband, because public humiliation to me is something that's very hard to come back from. Because it's going to always be people that's going to remember the things that people put out about you, or put out accusations about you that's, just doesn't sit well with your character, so it's very hard to come back from public humiliation. I really think that she needs to consider everything that she's heard, everything that he has done over many years, all of the new side chicks and mistresses coming out the woodworks, and Sis just needs to do some self-reflection and choose herself, okay? Then after you choose yourself, make that relationship right with your sister, because I hate to see a good relationship go by the wayside over a con artist type of motherfucking man who seem like he don't have a care in the world. If this is your wife's family going through all of this bullshit and turmoil and all of the family being torn apart, like, this don't bother him? Like, was this part of your plan, bro? I don't understand it. She needs self-love, okay? And she needs to be able to heal herself from that self-love and get some of these people who mean her no good from out of her face. That's what she needs. Well, y'all drop y'all comments down in the comment section. As I said, I'll be watching more videos because I'm watching this, and I felt like I watched enough of what I needed to see. I saved some of the clips, so I may even add a little snippet or two in this video. Don't hold me to that, though. Don't hold it to me, because I don't like to do too much editing, so don't hold me to that. Enjoy this talk here. This is Midnight Late Night Talks right here. Now, when we come back, we may have some audio that we're going to be able to play, or I might come back StreamYard and play it from my computer so we can hear it that way. You know what I'm saying? But y'all make sure y'all leave y'all comments in there on every subject that we done touched on, really. We done been bounced all over the place, but that's how I talk. You know what I'm saying? I don't really stay on one subject. And it's cheers. Cheers to you all. If you got wine glasses in your hand and you're unwinding from a long day, it's cheers to you. Do your thing. This is your girl Midnight. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Have a good night.